Hello guys and welcome back to the final episode of the Traitors US Season 2. It is the reunion and I gotta say there are a lot of people who are feeling a ways about something on the show. Oh, it was tough, it was rough, it was a delightful watch is what it was. It was fantastic from start to end. But before we get into the actual reunion, I just want to say, guys, thank you guys for this love and support on the channel. As you guys have been watching, the Dance Mom videos have been popping off recently. Unfortunately, I can't really make any money off of them because they keep on getting copyright claimed. So if you guys are wanting to support the channel, there is a membership on offer for the low price of, I think it's $2.99 a month, which is quite cool. There's some nice perks. You get daily updates from me about what's going on in my life, what is happening on this planet, and also what kind of videos you guys have got coming up. Also, there are going to be some polls about future content you're going to see. There's going to be some behind the scenes content as well as some cut content too. So if that does interest you, make sure to sign up and you'll be seeing a lot more content on the channel very soon. But until then, let's get on with the video. There were a lot of talking points. There was a lot of things. It did kind of move rapid fire. I don't know whether I enjoy these reunions or not. I feel like they're kind of surplus to requirements, I won't lie. But there were some interesting talking points that I am going to bring up. The first one being the fact that cliques were a very important part of this series. I've spoken about it before, but I'm going to speak about it again with the help of obviously some of the actual contestants' thoughts and feelings. The thoughts and feelings are essentially that the gamers were a huge threat and they made the game a lot less fun to play because they were so cutthroat backstabby. There was a comment by Larsa made, the gamers won at any cost. This was after the entire group watched the final live and they watched the final reactions of everyone being shocked that MJ got cut out and that Trishelle and CT won it. I think there's definitely a difference between the groups, between the non-competitive reality stars and the reality stars that are competitive. And it's essentially that some people are just not viewing it as the game it is. A lot of people, Janelle was very outspoken on it, were like, this is a game and you've got to treat it as a game. When you finish the game, you shake hands and you go, well done, good job. You're not butthurt about things that are happening throughout the game because it's a game. And I think that's one of the most interesting things that got lost with some of these people, especially Larsa, to an extent Phaedra and things like that, is that people just weren't willing to see it for the game it was. Yes, people got backstabbed. Yes, people got sent home when they shouldn't have. But it's called The Traitors. It's not called Alan Cummings' best friend Castle Holiday. Do you know what I mean? That's a really bad show, but The Traitors is very good. Then there was obviously the clique of Peter's pals that was brought up. I think it was an interesting addition to this show to have like a group of faithfuls that were like, yeah, we're faithful and stick together and kind of weed out the traitors. I don't think we've seen quite something like that before. Everyone's kind of on their own. I think this series was just, it was too easy to work out who was a faithful and who wasn't a faithful. I think that was the issue here. It was far too easy and it didn't really have the same oomph as some of the previous seasons where everyone's really paranoid, because it felt like the faithfuls worked it out far too quickly. Did I still enjoy the series because of it? Absolutely. But you can't lie and say that it didn't just slightly mar the experience a little bit. Just slightly. So we then heard from two people who were very outspoken about the fact that they weren't happy with being out first. Johnny Bananas was fuming. For want of a better word, fuming. He was not happy at all that he had been sort of knocked down instantly when he had so much to show, and he also felt that Dan had taken him out for more nefarious reasons than he actually did. There was a lot of hostility towards Dan in this reunion. We'll talk more about that later, but I felt like it wasn't really warranted. Somebody had to go home at the end of the day, and Johnny Bananas just happened to be first. You can't be butthurt about that. It's a game. You're used to playing games. Like, what's going on here? Yeah, not a bit of me, but Peppermint did have a right to be upset. She was very outspoken about the fact that she wasn't entirely happy with being voted out first, because at that point in the game there's no evidence to go off, so it's only preconceived notions that you can really deliver a guilty verdict on. And she felt that she was kind of not targeted, but she was sent home first because there was something different about her, and different obviously scares people. Do I agree with that? I don't know. I think there was evidence that could have implicated her, but the evidence was shaky. Trishelle didn't really grasp the game at the start. She was just too hyper focused on let's find the traitors that she misinterpreted some words. So like there was grounds for her being banished, but I think it's fair to say that it's not a great look. Is it? It isn't really. But I think Peppermint was just upset that she was sent home first. I don't think it was anything really deep. And I liked what she said about being about TV being a platform for people to see other people like them, and I appreciated that from Peppermint. So yeah, big props to her. I'd love to see her back on Drag Race soon, but who knows whether she will or not. It's probably worth talking about Dan's poor game, because everyone was calling him out on it. Everyone was like, yeah, Dan, you were suspicious from the get-go. And then Marcus was like, yeah, do you know what? Taking me out was actually smart because I was kind of onto you a little bit. Apparently, also, Lata and Marcus have been through a little bit of a sticky patch. That the wedding rings got removed. They blocked each other on Instagram. Everything's apparently fine now, but that's a little bit of tea. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, so Dan was desperately trying to defend his decisions. Oh, this is what I used to do on Big Brother. This is what I used to do on Big Brother. This is the traitors. You can't play the game like you did on Big Brother. You can't. It's a poor choice to do it that way, because this game is social deception. It is, you are lying through your teeth to protect yourself in this game. In Big Brother, everyone's got a right to be there. Whereas this game is specifically get the traitors out. So they're trying to get you out of the game. So give them something for you to stay in the game. He was questioned why he turned on Phaedra rather than turning on Parvati, because Parvati would have been an easier target. And he was like, well, I knew that I had to take a shot, and I figured that taking out Phaedra now would be the better opportunity because there's no way that I would win with her. Again, I agreed to an extent, but I feel like that was a little bit of a cop-out answer. I just feel like he wanted to throw her under the bus, and it's a shame, but it didn't really work out for him because he got banished immediately. I keep going to say evicted. I'm too in my Big Brother brain. But yeah, he was surprised that people didn't view what he was doing as gameplay. And he was like, I didn't think people would take it as personally as they did. Phaedra's still quite pissed off with him for what he did at that round table. Which, like, fair enough. But also, Phaedra, get over yourself. It's a game. Like, please, please, please. It's not the end of the world. So, we got more talk about the Peter Pals. But specifically to do with Peter. Everybody really, really praised Peter for how he played this game. He might go down as one of the better trader players ever across all of the franchises. It was incredible, very masterful. The way he laid traps, the way he worked out who was a traitor and who wasn't, was great. He genuinely did do well. And then he was asked, yo, if you got given the recruit or die choice that Kate did, would you have accepted? And he said, I would have had to, and actually that would have helped Phaedra win the game. Because if Phaedra had recruited me and then thrown me to the wolves the next day, and I'd have gone home, I'm a traitor, and then she would have been vindicated by being like, see, I told you. And then she could have worked her way to the final and probably won. And actually, I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, he makes a really, really good point, actually. He makes a very, very genuinely good point that Phaedra could have won the game if she'd have just decided to recruit him instead of Kate. And even Parvati earlier was like, oh, I think I would have recruited Kate. I think I would have recruited Kate. And even Sandra was like, why not me? I wanted to be recruited. But I think Peter would have been an interesting traitor to have on board for Phaedra to basically be like, yo. Because that night was the night before Peter got banished. So she could have been like, yo, the only reason you're here is because I'm banishing your ass tomorrow. I'm banishing you. You're going home. And then what's he going to do about it? What's he going to do about it? He's going to have to take it like a chump. Yeah, actually, that would have been really, really cool. If Phaedra had done that, that would have been incredible. That would have actually been incredible. I would have lost my mind. That would have been a brilliant play. But sadly, it did not happen. So the last major story that I want to talk about was the ending. The ending of the final episode, the very controversial CT Trishelle double win. It didn't go down particularly well within the room. The room was quite divided and there was a lot of conflict on either side about sort of whether it was good, whether it was bad, whether they were right to do it, whether they were wrong to do it. A couple of people took MJ's side, a couple of people took the other side, and it really did feel like it was a divide in the group. Some people saw it for the gameplay that it was. MJ was pissed, to say the least. I think I've never seen someone so bitter and angry in my whole life. And at the end of the day, she's right to be. She lost out on about 70 grand. So, really, this was not the best decision, I think. I think it would have been better to... I don't know. But then again, the argument could be made that MJ could have saved herself if she'd have just voted CT in that first round of voting, because then CT would have been sent home and then she would have won 104,000. So I don't know. I think it really is a case of she just picked the wrong choice at the end. They were going to banish again. She should have chosen CT and then she would have won some money. But instead, they decided to vote her out. It just didn't gel, the ending. The ending was great and it was controversial and it was shocking and it was very entertaining. But it still did leave just a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth just because I was like, MJ did come so far. Do I think she deserved the money compared to the other two? No. I think the other two did more in this game to warrant getting the money. But MJ made it to the end fair and square, so why should you exclude her from this money? So yeah, this is where it got a little bit awkward, because John was basically being like, yo, I don't think you have a right to be upset. And I was like, Mr. John Burkow, she can be upset. She's just lost out on X amount of money, fair enough. And then Trishelle was like, why are you still coming for me all these months later? Why are you still attacking me and being nasty and horrible? And then she's like, you blocked me on Instagram. And MJ was like, yeah, of course I did. Why would I keep you on Instagram? Like, why would I do that? You snaked me out of the money. And I think this is what perfectly highlights the difference between the gamers and the reality stars. Who is here for the money and who's here for the airtime? And that's kind of what happens here. If you are going to be here for the money, you've got to make choices and decisions that are going to be unpopular and aren't going to make you look great in a certain light. That's why Big Brother and Survivor are all player-based evictions and voting out, because otherwise the public would be ass when they're voting them out. Like, look at how our own voting goes when it comes to Big Brother. All of the entertaining people who are controversial in the house get nominated, and then the controversial people go home because people are like, we don't like them. We don't like them. We don't like them. It's just really unfortunate that we don't adopt a similar thing where, like, the players themselves have to vote people out, because I think it's far more interesting. The public cannot be trusted. How many times do I have to say this? Stephen Bear quite literally won Celebrity Big Brother, despite being the biggest dickhead ever. And yet, the public voted him as the winner. He was not a very nice person. He still isn't. I'm fairly certain he's in prison. So, guys, this is it. This is exactly it. The gamers, they know how to play the game. They know how to get the money. The reality stars, they're not willing to get their hands dirty for the money. That's why the two winners of this show so far have been a Survivor legend and the Challenge legends. There you go. The proof is in the pudding. But that is all we've got time for today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, doing all those YouTube things that you guys do so well. And I will make sure to see you guys later. And if you guys are interested in the membership, details are down below. If you just click the join button, they will tell you everything you need to know. So, I'll see you guys later. Keep on ranting. Bye now.